Hi crafters, this is Pam with PS I Love You Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to use alcohol ink. I have Adirondack alcohol ink from Tim Holtz Ranger Arts, and I have two shades of like a purpley color and I have a blue color here. I also have a whole container of other colors, but we'll start with these three. This is glossy cardstock. This is not photo paper. Photo paper doesn't really blend very well. It's not quite thick enough. I have some alcohol blending solution, which is also from Adirondack. I have an applicator and I have a felt pad. These both are by Tim Holtz. And I have a little charm here, and I'm going to show you how you can do this on metal also. So alcohol ink dries very quickly. It does stain, but cleans up really easily with either the blending solution or regular rubbing alcohol. And you only use this on surfaces that are non-porous. So you would use it on glass, acrylic, plastic, metal, or glossy paper. So I'm going to do this side over here. And I'm just going to add a few drops. There are different techniques you can use, and depending on the look you want, will depend on the technique that you use. And I'll show you. We're just going to do some drops. There's some blue. Let's see what shade of purple this one is. And you can see how they're starting to run together. Let's see what shade of purple. They come in lots of great colors. You can buy, oh, this one doesn't want to come out. Okay, let me switch colors. Let me get something else here. You can buy them in sets of 3. Let's do a green. You can buy them in sets of 3, or you can buy the colors individually, and I will link to them. Okay, so there you have kind of an idea of what the colors do. Now I have used these on glass where I did something similar. I just made drops. You have to do it very, very quickly, and it might be better to use 2 people. Have one person hold the glass, and then the other person puts a drop on the glass, and then you blow it either with a straw or with compressed air, you know, the kind that you buy to clean computers, and it gives like a splatter motion or splatter effect. But you can see that these, they didn't really blend. They kind of cover each other up. Now this blending solution, we're going to add some of this, and you can see whoops. You can see how the colors are transforming some more. And you can tilt this to make it run. Or you can dab it with your cotton applicator. And see, this adds a little bit of color in between. And then, you know, if you want more blue, you would add another drop of blue. And you really only need a drop at a time. You really don't need a lot at one time. And then, whoops. See, I can blow that and make a pattern. I think my favorite technique is to tap the ink directly to the pad. So this one, I'm going to do blue, and I'm going to do quite a bit of purple. And then, oops, I put the lid back on the green. But I'm only going to do a few, whoops, that came out really fast, a few spots of green. Okay. And then on your surface, you start to dot. And you go in different directions. And I should have put something under this, but I will clean this up with alcohol when I'm finished. And you just keep pressing until your surface is covered. But this makes a really cool looking background for a card, or it's really pretty on glass. When you're finished, it's not too much for cards, but especially on glass and metal. When you're finished, you need to seal it with acrylic sealer because it will come off. For example, like let's say you have perfume on your fingers, which has alcohol in it, it will cause it to run and to come off. So there, and so you can see how I've got it thin over, you know, I need to reload the color on my pad. Okay, so now let's add a couple drops and see what kind of effect we get. And these alcohol inks, I mean, these aren't very big, but I have had these for roughly 10 or 12 years. And I think I only have 1 or 2 colors that are close to being empty. But you can see what it did with the colors there. But it gives it a really cool effect. It looks really cool for a card, or it would be really pretty on glass. Now, if you do alcohol ink on glass, it is translucent, so they make really nice votive holders. You can do them on, I did some pickle jars and then tied ribbon around them and put candles in them. You can do small candle holders. And then if you wanted, you can add a little bit of solution to your pad. And then you can go over top, because this will, you can see where it's adding more texture, I guess you could say. It's causing the colors to run more. And see, I'm going to add some more and do these spaces over here and see what kind of effect we get. But you kind of really have to play with it. You will never be able to do 2 projects that are exactly alike. I can tell you that. They always seem to change. And this one looks really cool. I like how that looks now. But that's the gist of it. Okay, let me set this aside. So I want to color these metal charms. Let's see. I'm going to do denim and orange. I like to do 3 colors, but you could do any combination. Let's just do denim and orange, denim and orange. Okay, let's do denim and red. This one's called red pepper and the blue is called denim. I'm going to use this seam pad. This dries very quickly also. I mean, I just did this and you can see, I mean, I can wipe my hand across it and it doesn't come off. It dries very, very quickly. So let's start with a drop of red. We'll do 2 drops. And we'll do, oops, I got too much. Okay, and then I'm going to splotch, splotch, splotch. Because this is metal, it doesn't show up as much as it would if we had done it on white paper. Like I said, these come in tons of colors. Like that's not really, it doesn't show up particularly well. Let's try, I'm gonna get a new one of these. But you can also get gold, silver, and pearl, and those are really pretty colors. They are more opaque. They aren't quite as, whoops, that was good. They aren't quite as translucent. And I'm gonna add, oh my gosh, if I have a blooper reel, that will go on it. They aren't as translucent and they're more opaque, so you don't see through them quite as much. So there we go. That one you can see a little bit better. I hope you can see that. And then this side was the blue and the red, but this has a lot of texture to it, so it's really hard to see. Whoops, I got my fingers on it. So I'm just gonna go back over top of it and blend it some more. There we go. And I think I'm gonna do the cat, and we'll do him blue and purple too. And I'm just gonna go over, I'm not even gonna add any more ink. I just wanted to add some color and some texture. And I'm going to show you a project that I did. Let's see, I'm going to go back over to this side. Let's see if I can get some. Yeah, it's a little bit more. That blue is just so dark. You just don't see it much. So anyway, so there are the charms. See, I'm getting my fingerprints on it because I didn't wait for it to dry long enough. But I'm just going to go back over it and touch it up. Now I'm going to set it aside. So I made this wind chime. My mom works in a thrift store. So this is a thrift store item that I saved. And this was a necklace. And these cats and the hearts were, all three of these pieces here were strung in a necklace. And it was horribly gaudy. So I took it apart and I wired it and hung it from a mason jar lid, and then I added beads. My friend Stephanie had a beaded necklace. The colors were perfect, and she was getting ready to donate it to Goodwill, so she said cut it apart and use it. And since the colors were perfect, I didn't argue with her. And then I put a wire hanger on it, so I'm gonna hang this outside, and it makes a really nice sound. Oops, I've got it tangled up a little bit. Oops. So you can see I use blue and green and yellow on all of these pieces. I don't know if you can see the lid or not, but it was a great way to add some color and have the colors blended, and it kind of gives it an artsy look, which is completely different from the projects that I normally do. I hope that you like this project. I hope that you will give it a thumbs up, and I hope you'll subscribe. Have a great day.